Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We should now be underway in mere moments.
Soon.
Momentary moments, hopefully.
All tech issues have been resolved, hopefully. You know,
We've been told they have.
We've been told they're all in the lobby, so we should be going straight to Champ Select.
Hypothetically, that is what will happen.
Hypothetically.
Hypothetically is a good word. Possibly. Potentially. But of course, this is H2k versus N Faculty. If you're just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, this is the FACEIT Challenge. No, it's not the FACEIT Challenge. I'm used to things being the FACEIT Challenger Invitational, like their FACEIT Challenger Invitationals, but no, it's the FACEIT, it's the Gamescom LOL Challenge. So it's the third word, which is terribly confusing for me. I'm a man of simple routines, but it is indeed that, and that is why we have two very good Challenger teams playing today.
Yeah, and as we said earlier there before we went on our break, expecting a very good game from both teams. And honestly, I do expect H2k to come out on top, but you never know. It's a best of one. Yeah.
Volatile format, basically, here. So we'll see if anyone's going to run any interesting style picks. And Faculty, since the last time I've seen them, have had a roster change. They've swapped out their mid lane. Bimbo8 is a player who, if you remember way back when I was relatively new to casting, with the Chaos TV EUS Challenger Series, before the Riot Challenger Series even was a twinkle in Nick Allen's eye, Bimbo8 used to be quite a common player. He moved around a few teams, but he was well known for a couple of things. One thing being his, I hesitate to say it, but balls out play style, because this was when Doran's Ring was not a viable starting option. He would start amplifying Tome in a pot, and he would not build boots. He'd build nothing but AP, and then he would also play mid-Zyra and be appallingly dangerous on it, but we'll see if he's kept those habits. It's been a while since I've seen him, and we do have the bans.
Yeah, and Oriana, Jarvan, and Kassadin banned out from H2k, as well as Nidalee and Maokai, so not going to be seeing the big tree man in this game, thank God.
Yes, we've seen a few Maokai games, and it seems to work out for whoever picks against him, although Nidalee was played against him last time we saw it, and it did work.
It did work very, very well, able to harass him out, and the Rengar actually taking
I think part of the reason Maokai keeps slipping through is because Nidalee is almost a perma-ban herself, but I'm not complaining, because we at least did see Maokai get beaten for a change, which is always refreshing.
Yeah, so there we go, the bans coming out there. Rengar, first ban I've seen of him. I'm not quite sure about the first two games yesterday. Obviously, we weren't able to stream them, but definitely kind of something we hadn't seen at all yesterday. You know, he's still very, very strong, but knowing that the Oriana was kind of taken out, I'm surprised they banned it out anyway.
Yeah, I mean, to my mind, I associate Trashy. I mean, he is a good Rengar player. This is something he has been known to play on occasion, but I associate him more with his Jarvan the Fourth. That's kind of his classic pick, as I recall. But obviously that is banned out too, but that was banned out by H2k themselves. They are, however, going to pick themselves up a very high priority pick for them, particularly because Hjarnan's, I want to say, favorite champion is Lucian. They have sacrificed themselves some pretty high value targets themselves.
Yeah, they gave up the Alistar, and that's most likely going to be an Alistar top, considering Nami was picked up as well. So an Alistar top is a big bully. Good mana efficiency, great peel, and just unkillable, really, once he hits late game, or even level 6 when he's able to get that ultimate off.
Yeah, there aren't many good ranged tops left open either, so if you're a melee top against Alistar, of course, every time you walk up to him to try and harass him, you get pulverized, and that means you also probably take 2 or 3 auto attacks when you headbutt to your way as well. Alistar's mana efficiency nowadays is better, so he doesn't tend to run out by doing that. So it's very, very difficult to trade back to him if you are a melee champion. Which means you do see sometimes ranged things. That's part of why Nidalee worked okay against the Maokai pick yesterday. Harassing, and then had quick spikes of damage to all in. But we'll see if they have anything else in mind. I'd imagine, although she's not a popular pick nowadays, Kayle would actually do okay against Alistar.
Kayle would do very, very well. She kind of got pretty heavily nerfed, though, a few patches ago with her AP ratios. Little kind of over nerfs, I kind of feel myself. But then again, when you have an ultimate that literally makes you untargetable for...
You can be targeted.
Oh, you can be targeted, but it makes you impervious to damage. Probably a better way to put it. Yes. But we are going to see our first Syndra of the tournament. I love Syndra. I love her kit. I love basically everything that she kind of represents as a mid laner, because not only does she have amazing farming potential, amazing, kind of wave clear, as well as kite, but she also has amazing all-in potential as well. She's just kind of a very, very solid all-round mage.
Syndra, the funny thing about Syndra is that she's basically an overpowered mage that's not overpowered because she's a bit clunky to use. There are windows of opportunity where she doesn't have balls available to, for instance, use her stun. She can't use that 1100 range 1.5 second stun that she has with very high base damage as well and very high AP scale. It's a brutally powerful skill, but of course you need to have your Dark Sphere in position for it, and that means you may have to waste your W, which cuts down your overall damage, and so having higher ratios and whatnot isn't actually that big of a deal. So she's certainly very, very powerful in the right hands, though, all things considered. Twisted Fate being picked up against her. Brave,
but I can kind of see the matchup. He can clear the way very, very quickly with the wild
range,
cards
yeah.
and the red card, then go for a roam. He can either force her to keep the wave push, maybe losing a couple of CS in the process, or she can, just farm very safely, and you leave a Twisted Fate to roam then, which is very, very dangerous.
Yeah, the only problem I can foresee with the Twisted Fate pick is it's going to be a risky lane, basically. The 1100 range 1.5 second stun that I mentioned before on Syndra does tend to set up ganks rather well, and Twisted Fate lacks any kind of escape. He's squishy. Yes, he's long ranged, but generally he's going to need to get into auto attack range at some point, whether to get mana for his wild cards off the blue card or to clear with the red. So there are windows of opportunity to punish him, and that is looking like a Riven jungle.
Wow.
It's a thing we see sometimes.
It's very, very scarcely.
You need to be a mechanical god, so...
Yes, you do. I would have, honestly, looking at the picks and bans, I was expecting an Elise, because Elise Syndra is such a strong... It's like a Morgana's Elise as well. Like, you just hit stun, cocoon, and then scatter the weak. You just literally combo the CC and you get an awful lot of damage down. The Riven, honestly, doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I can see why you would pick it. As you say, you need to be a mechanical god. It can work out, but that's naturally the way of Riven. It can go brilliantly, it can go terribly. But honestly, against Elise Sin, maybe she's just looking to be able to outtrade him.
Yeah, there's, I think, two reasons he's probably picking this here. One, as you say, is Riven is one of the few that can outduel Elise Sin, certainly in the early game and probably for most of the game, in fact. And she also has very good CC lanes for her to gank onto. She has the all-in potential from the Trist Nami at bot lane. So you get the slowdown, she flash in, maybe get the stun, bubble, etc., combo all the CC. Alistar, of course, headbutt pulverize, a lot of crowd control. Syndra, big stun. And Riven has huge damage output. And if she snowballs, she becomes a huge presence in the mid-game team fight. So you really do have to be very, very careful now if you're H2k, especially considering you've picked vulnerable early top and mid lanes. They are both weaker on that in that early stage, and we'll be trying to play around, in Mundo's case, just by surviving and probably losing out on some farm, and in the case of Twisted Fate, playing around his range in order to keep himself going until he hits his power spikes.
I imagine that in Faculty we're hoping to pick up the Lee Sin. A Lee Sin would have been perfect in the sense that it would do similar to what Riven would do, high CCs, high early damage, but obviously it was picked away by Trashy. But again, I think the top lane is kind of one where nothing really is going to be happening until level 6 hit by Twisted Fate and we see an all-in onto Alistair, or we see Syndrome and we see an all-in onto Mundo. Not really a lot that either can do to each other, Mundo and Alistair. They're just going to keep, slapping each other until the other one just kind of either ults or they just regen. Or, it's very hard for either of them to 1v1 the other person.
It'll be actually interesting. Mundo obviously does have his regen.
30 seconds until
it can be really surprising how much damage Alistar can do in the lane. He actually has some pretty decent base stats, and he has, of course, very high base damage on Pulverize. He's taken this Doran's Ring start. So he's got, as long as he's got mana, he'll be able to do at least some damage to Odoamne, and probably keep him forced back as a result of that. That would be what I would expect to happen. Of course, he's not going to have the kill potential. He's not going to be able to utterly force him out of lane. but
Minions have spawned.
could still be a small advantage in that early game. Hyanan and AOD, they all vote to do this. They do this quite a lot. I'll be interested to know if Faculty predict that.
Small pause.
Yeah, don't know what the cause is there.
Don't really see any crazy engages just yet, so I don't think anybody's there.
I mean, if it went on for long enough, like if they get into like an all-in fight down there, you could actually plausibly see both teleports being used to get down there as well. But
Alistair,
not expecting it.
if he took, I imagine if that happened, hypothetically, Alistair would bring an awful lot more to the table. With his kind of, you know, passive of trample and his just, if he took pulverize as well, it would be an awful lot more useful for CC in that early level 1. But again, as we say, don't imagine there being a crazy engage now down the bot lane. But,
See, level 1 is a weird beast because late game burst is always a really, really good thing to have. Alistar has more burst in that situation. He also has stronger crowd control. It's AoE. I doubt we're going to be seeing this situation at all. It's all hypothetical, but we are going to be seeing Mountain taking some damage and healing it immediately. But mana lost, so there you go. AOD is winning the lane for his team. But what you do see in level 1s is that a Mundo who is able to just keep throwing cleavers and cleavers and cleavers and cleavers can actually have huge damage output over the course of it, because it's such a low cooldown skill and because it has such high base damage at rank 1. And hence he can be very influential. It's also a perma-slow. Very valuable. Very, very valuable indeed, but yeah, not happening, so it doesn't really matter at all.
no, not really. Pretty much identical starts for every single lane, apart from obviously that top lane where we see a Doran's Shield versus a Doran's Ring. I imagine we'll see the Triforce build for Alistair. It's kind of like, you know, it's kind of, I've seen Static Shiv built on him a couple of times. Yes, it's something that's quite popular in solo queue in the Challenger kind of diamond tier, but Mountain needs to start dodging those dark bindings because he's already below half health.
Yeah, you'll notice actually both of the supports. We went through a brief phase when the gold item started getting popular of starting with 2 pots, a gold item and a ward. Nowadays, though, just because of trading reasons, you do not want to have 2 less pots than your opposing support. It ends up becoming this game of chicken where everyone takes 4 pots now. You've got them to take the maximum amount of sustain they possibly can, while also having gold items. So, trading back and forth. At the moment, I won't see too much happening, but as this lane goes on, it is going to be very, very tricky for Tristana.
Lucian forced to use his pot though, so he's already lost his kind of safe sustain really very early on in the game. Tristana still has hers, and we still see the biscuits of rejuvenation both on supports. But no trinkets used on the side of, or no trinkets used on the map for the side of H2k. They're definitely being a bit scroungy with their warding at the moment.
Yeah, both. I mean, everyone. Nobody really wants to start with wards. You need that early power, so it's all trinkets. If you know where the enemy jungler is, roughly, speaking of which, I believe Obvious was actually just spotted by Lee, but was committed to the recall. So they both know roughly where the other one is at the time, and he's going to steal away the white. Unfortunately, you can't leave that camp.
No, it's only the single camp, but still a small denial. You know, very small.
He goes there. Probably going to respawn by the time he goes there, though.
Most likely.
Oh well. Took it from the enemy jungle, and as cats will tell you, it tastes nicer if you stole it.
And we're a lot of kind of interest in this bot lane. It seems to be everything seems to almost happen in this bot lane. It seems to be almost like, you know, AOD is going to go in on a dark binding. They almost go in, you know, kind of like they seem to be trading right now. It's not really a full commitment from anyone going a little bit crazy. But it's definitely going to be a tough lane for Tristana once Hjarnan does hit those items and get the mid-game power that Lucian does obviously have.
Top lane appears to have really not had a lot going on. As you said, that it actually does seem like Mundo is able to completely ignore Alistar's damage. Cedrian
Oh, wow, okay.
It's you can see what AOD was going for.
Yes.
He was expecting that his opponent would be expecting the binding, so he switches target, goes for Nami, and straight up whips the shot. Like, that was unforced error. And actually, we've seen AOD missing I think I've seen him hit a minion once, and Hyanan actually went in to try and punish off of the binding, expecting it would land. Get punished for that himself. And we've also seen a couple of misses, so AOD not doing quite what he'd like, I suspect.
No, really needs to be careful though, because that could have been a fantastic opportunity with Lee Sin there. Maybe should have pulled the trigger just a little bit quicker.
Should have at least been a flash, honestly.
Yes, at
maybe,
least
that
something.
situation.
I know he was probably trying to make sure that Cedron didn't just rocket jump away, but he was pretty in line. He would have had to...
Well, the thing about rocket jump is Cedrian, had he hit Cedrian, even the rocket jump would have still resolved. He would have started the animation before the binding landed and kept going.
There you go. There's the trade back that we were talking. Hjarnan expecting AOD to hit that. So you see Forbidden taking a little bit of damage in the mid lane.
Very much cancelling each other out at the moment in the mid lane. But post level 6, it's going to become a lot more interesting mid. The Syndra damage suddenly takes a huge spike up. She gets the ult. She's got her Ignite. In fact, the ult has now come online. But Forbidden does now have Destiny. So will he be able to roam? Ooh, good flash.
Very, very good flash there. Obvious coming in on Riven. Nicely done, actually. Mundo, no wards up top. These things just going to keep power farming.
It's not a good position.
Not a good position. Actually, they do land the Dark Binding onto Cedrian. Not going to be able to punish it, though. He was just a little bit too far away. And they keep going back to farming. Very conservative start from both sides.
Yeah, they're both playing it very, very defensively, which is not what I would expect maybe from the Riven. But, of course, a lot of the gank potential will spike up with the damage spikes at level 6. Not expecting to see much presence from Obvious in the bot lane until sort of level 9-ish, though. Most likely because AOD flat here would make things very, very difficult. Although, part of being a jungler is being aware of the enemy's situation, and AOD is low on mana right now, so maybe we'll see him work his way down. There's no easy opportunity for H2k's bot lane to recall right now, since they are constantly being shoved up. Bromberry is actually now starting to exert a bit of presence in this top lane, but he's actually having a hard time last hitting.
Yeah, the trample's not doing a lot for him there. It's definitely
It can be a bit disruptive, yeah.
Yeah, it can be a little bit. So you see Mundo popping the sadism. Going to be able to sustain back up pretty nicely.
Resume farming, it seems. Still no action even in the mid lane. Bimbo 8 has bought boots, so he's not the man I remember.
It's not the man he once was.
Truly was a very manly style he played. I mean, you never know. It might be because Syndra is a very immobile mage and you do want your movement speed, or you will very likely be caught out. Although I would have said that about Zyra too, so maybe he learned, maybe he got worse.
Less manly. You see now Dark Binding missing. Hjarnan going to get trade back again. And again, it's the same situation as you say. Hjarnan going in expecting AOD to hit that Dark Binding. He doesn't, and he has to get out-traded.
Yeah, it's just straight up errors from AOD, so a little bit sad for them, but we've seen AOD do some decent stuff in the past. I'll say he's never blown my mind as a support. But he's always shown himself to be fairly solid. Right now, perhaps not performing the way he would want.
Oh, here we go. Going to jump into the top lane. Forbidden actually going to get knocked away again as well. They do pop the ultimate of Prombear. I don't know if they can kill him right now. His ultimate has just worn off. He hasn't got flash. They will end up getting the kill, though. It will be first blood over to Forbidden. Nice kind of like swag kill there as he was coming in for the headbutt. Just got him with the card. No effect on him there, but that leaves Syndra alone in this mid lane just to kind of, you know, pushed it down, as we do see now Riven in this bot lane. She might go for something, knowing that the ultimate is down. Also seeing that Trashy is mid, she might go for
no
something.
Destiny counter gank, so there's no need to worry about
It's
that.
2 points.
But yeah, that can be a problem with Tristana sometimes, although generally, if she's pushing, she's not going to be behind on farm, and she's going to be okay with that since she's a late game carry. More trading it back and forth.
Cedric doing exceptionally well with keeping up with this Lucian's farm. He's they're actually equal on farm a little bit. Cedric going to go back now, probably to pick up his BF sword. A nice little bit of money for him. But gotta admit, I think it's, you know, many of the pros, double lift, sneaky, they all say if you can get out of laning phase with Tristana and you're only 20 CS behind, you've won. So being equal, they're winning the lane.
Yeah, it's true. Trashy is top lane right now.
So is
Almir's ultimate is not up again. It's a long cooldown. That's something people underestimate. But both junglers are up there.
Yeah, here comes Trashy. He does flash in, though. He might try go for this.
Ooh.
Ultimate was popped by Obvious, though. Not quite sure if that was a very, very much premature ultimate there. That's going to be a cooldown he will not have if he gets caught out.
He was expecting the pursuit, basically. He was expecting H2k to try and either do more damage or to chase down Pron there, but they were not able to. And he didn't take account of the fact that H2k didn't actually have any gank potential, even assuming there was no Ribbon there. So they backed off and thought, oh, hey, he was there all along. I'm glad we backed off.
Yes. Mundo wasn't really in the position to kind of keep chasing. He hasn't got the greatest of pursuing. Oh, nice flash there by AOD. Good explosive cast, but they may take out Mountain though in the end. Cedrian going to try to trade this back though. Hjarnan has got the double pad. He's going to dash away. Nice catch there. AOD with a fantastic flash over the tidal wave.
Yeah, it was a really, really good flash to get over the tidal wave. But the other thing there, of course, is the Black Shield probably would have nullified that effect anyway. And Hjarnan managed to flash. Whoa! Hey, whoa. How did that happen? I did not catch that. I was not on camera.
No, Bimbo H is being straight up caught out. Yeah, just straight up outplayed.
It's not something that should happen.
Oh no, here we go again. He's popped the ultimate. Popped it far too early though. You can't use that Unbreakable to get out of CC. He's going to get taken down again. He has no mana. This is just Forbidden and Odwamana. It's going to go over to Forbidden again. Triple gold card in the end. Trashy. I think he knows where Obvious is. Or he's looking for the blue buff steal. But there's a lot of wards in this enemy jungle. Look at the position of all their wards that come in. Oh, great shield there by AOD. He might get out of this. He actually blocks the stun as well. He does get out alive. Hjarnan did pop the ultimate in the end to try and massage the backline. They will take out this pink ward, I assume. Yep. And that'll be it. And good rotations there from H2k.
Yeah, and Faculty are making some odd micro decisions, though. They are hitting people with stuns when they have the Black Shield on. They are not backing off when they know that Twisted Fate just killed Syndra in mid lane. They are killing, or I mean, they are having their mid laner killed by Twisted Fate, who is probably one of the lower kill pressure mid laners against probably the highest.
You can see his stun. Like, you know when he has it locked in.
And you can punish that hard. He has way less range than you as Syndra, way less damage than you as Syndra. But it happened. Sometimes. You can't account for skill sometimes.
Pronbear as well, completely being outplayed as well. Popping his ultimate far too early. It does break CC. He could have waited for the gold card to come in, then popped it, so he had a little bit more time to escape. He could have headbutted away. But again, what can you do? It's just things happen, I suppose, in this best of one in the LAN experience. It's a very different situation for when you're playing at home.
Yeah, they might be under a bit of pressure here. They certainly are making some odd decisions. I can kind of forgive Pronbear being that little bit too early with respect to the stun card. It doesn't actually make that much difference. He has very low chances of escaping because of the perma-slow from Mundo. That's why they're able to chase Alistar through his ultimate. He still actually is, now that he's got the shield, able to do some damage. But
rinse and repeat again, far too early.
Time,
another one. There it is. The perma-slow is coming out. He's going to actually try to get away. Actually misses the block. Oh, that was a terrible flash, though. He's going to go down. That's Forbidden. Just absolutely bullying this top lane. He is not having a good time right now at all. We already see a Spirit Visage finished on Mundo, so he's already going to start to outscale. We do see the teleport coming in, though, for Mundo in the top lane. Trashy goes in. They actually force the flash as well. Bimbo going to try to trade this back. It's going to be so close. Will he tick down? No, he won't. Red buff won't be enough. He chose a case. Oh, my God. Odwamana throwing out the case there, making sure that he was able to secure that kill. Here comes the tidal wave. It actually gets blocked out by the Dark Shield of AOD. Mountain is low on mana. He really can't keep going on this. They are trying to keep going. The Ignite was dropped. There it goes. Black Binding going to pick up that kill. Cedric's going to have his dash up, or Relentless Pursuit in a second. He's not going to keep going, though. this is spiraling very, very quickly out of control for End Faculty.
They've got I think this is the strength of H2k. I mentioned it before. They are very, very strong laners. And we might be about to see them pick up another kill here. Tristana is running for her life. See if this cleaver can catch up. But H2k are such strong laners that even though they have picked themselves weaker characters in the early game here, even though they've got the Twisted Fate, they've got the Mundo, they are winning out. Not necessarily even due to just the roaming from Twisted Fate. Odoamne was doing very, very well even before that. He was ahead on CS. It's really just looking a little bit dodgy here from their faculty's raw skill.
Oh, Forbidden going in on... Oh my god,
wow.
the damage that he's using right now. He has got a death cap. Oh my lord, that is a huge amount of damage. They take bottom turret as well. Alistair really not working out right now for End Faculty. He is 0-4. Even if the rest of his lanes were equal as they were and he had 2 deaths, it wouldn't be as bad. But 0-4, it might be a complete shutout right now. This could be the perfect game. Very early, but still.
Yeah, we usually see some form of tower trade or kill trade somewhere on the map. Because if everyone on End Faculty focuses in peace.
Here comes... Oh, I don't think Alistair wants to be here. I don't think he can really 1v1 this. Because here comes Bimbo away. He is going to use the Destiny. He does get scattered the weak, though. It's a good cleaver, though, to stop Bimbo away. He just got him away from the range of it. He might be able to trade this back, though, completely. Prombear is going to have to run away very, very quickly. He has not got his flash. He's already used his ultimate. Mundo could keep going on this. One more briefcase if he'd be able to get it. There's the headbutt away. Don't think he'd be able to continue the chase. Forbidden playing with no fear, but honestly, I don't think he needs to play with fear. He is absolutely dominating in the mid and the top.
He is so fed right now. 6-0, 186 CS. I mean, Bimbo 8's keeping up on farm, but you can't say much else. He's behind on map rotations and... Yep.
Oh, Trashy going to tank up the tower a little bit. He does end up taking down, though. I don't think you really need to go in for that. Mundo is in a little bit of a sticky situation, but all the while, Forbidden with double buffs is just going to keep spamming in this bottom lane, as we do wait to see. Now, everything going on. Mundo did go down there. The top lane, AOD going to jump in now. It does not get the Dark Binding. Cedrian going to go very, very low. He does get another turret in the mid lane. Nobody dealing with this. And it's just, as you said, incredibly strong laning from H2k, and they're just winning their lane. There has been no team fights.
Yeah, at this point, the game is already looking like it's over. This level of goal difference at this stage of the game is unbelievably huge, and it's something you rarely see in competitive games, but it's happening here. H2k just dominating in every sense of the word. Actually, wait, is 6-0 dominating? I think that's dominating.
I think that's dominating. I think so. I'm pretty sure it is dominating. But we do see the gold leads now as well. There's so many advantages, really. The only thing that's even remotely close is possibly the jungle. Only about a 500 gold, as Lee Sin hasn't really been doing a lot except power farming. And
that's really the thing here, isn't it? He's not actually been ganking a lot. It's not like Alistair died to his ganks. Lee Sin, he's shown up occasionally, but he's not really shown up. To use the phrase in a less than clear way, but he's certainly not doing so much to really snowball the game.
Yeah, if we even look at the items right now in the top lane, a Spirit Visage and a Sunfire Cape already finished. The makings of a Triforce, not quite a Triforce though. Trashy going to take it low, not quite killed off just yet though. Dramina is behind him. AOD going to try to jump in. He has not got the black shield. He has to jump back out. They do get the kill though with the Ignite. Going to be able to go back. Here comes the Lucian Culling though. They're going to be able to take out Prombear. He is not tanky at all. He's going to take out Cedric, going to go down to Trashy as well. Forbidden just arriving in at the last stage there. He has got not really anything to chase this. Didn't have Ghost, unfortunately, already popped it. But again, they trade 2 for 1, and even then it shouldn't have. It was an overextension from H2k, and they still came out on top. They're that far ahead.
Yeah, it was a very messy fight from H2k. AOD should not have been going in when they had such a numbers disadvantage, but he was thinking, well, I'm strong. I feel like recovering something from my slightly lackluster Dark Bindings in the super early game, and paid for it. But
12 1,000 gold.
It's a lot.
Pre 20
It's
minutes.
a lot. They could. I think really the only plausible way that H2k could lose this game now is doing something like a 20-minute Baron and getting caught out 5-on-5, which is unrealistic as a possibility. It's just
They wouldn't
not
risk
going
it.
to happen. Yeah, there's no reason for them to risk
No.
it. They're taking more and more advantages just by pushing and killing people. Cedrin's doing okay. He's got 174 CS, but Lucian is of course getting fed off of the back of his team's team fighting prowess at the moment. They're wandering around, and he walks in at the end with a culling or a Q. Gets one for his trouble. UD. Poking around. Vision control battle. I like that Faculty hasn't given up on this yet. I admire their pluck.
Well, realistically, they haven't lost any of their inhibitor turrets, and that's a big thing as well because they haven't got a lot of range in terms of hit turrets. They have got a lot of heal with Syndra and Alistair, so if they can try and stall this out for, I'm gonna say they have to stall it out for another 25-30 minutes before they can even come close to even attempting the team fight, with the second dragon again going in favor of H2k. I don't realistically think they are going to try go for this Baron, though. It'd be incredibly stupid if they did. They might try catch out for Bibbin, though, but he is exceptionally tanky. Here they go. Oh, nice Zhonya's, though. It might actually force them back, though. I don't think it really is. There's the tidal wave coming out. They actually are going to get him. He's alive. They did not damage. They did not gauge their damage good enough. Or well enough, probably a better way to put it. And look at that. They
Very
committed,
slang of you.
yeah, it's very slang of me. But there was so many people committed to that one person that they have two lanes now pushing. Mundo in the bot lane, Lee Sin and Lucian in the mid lane. They will be able to keep the mid lane alive, but Mundo is knocking on that door again. It's just... I can't believe they didn't secure that kill.
That's tilt. That's tilt right there. There's no way they would have normally made that kind of a mistake. These are challenger players. This is a middle tier at worst challenger team that's playing, but they are not playing like it. They are not representing the way they would want to, and that's only going to make things worse for them.
Yeah, looks like a little bit of a bait for the Baron. Mundo's TP is up, so is Alistair. They're going to jump in. Here goes Mountain. He's going to go down. There's the Destiny popped as well. He's going to use it. He's going to pop over this side. He does get the gold card onto Cedrin. He is so fed. That's stacked death. Nice ultimate there from Cedrin. He's going to pop the heal as well. Flash is not available. He's going to use his ghost. Going to get pumped away, though, by the Alistair. But honestly, that Mundo doesn't even mind. He's not even sticking with his team. He's just going to keep going in whatever lane they're not in. They may pick up this inhibitor turret. That is the big thing. The one thing that was going okay for Faculty that was they hadn't finished off a lane. Now that all towers are gone in the mid lane, I can't see them coming back.
Yeah, had they... Okay, so let's rewind, a couple of minutes back to that gank on Forbidden. Say they'd killed him. They picked up 500 gold on a high-value player like on your Cinder or something like that. That could have, been a decent thing. They would have lost some damage on that mid tower. They would have lost some damage on that bot tower. But it wouldn't have been as easy then, and Forbidden wouldn't have been around to fight for that. So they could have kept those towers up. They would have regened over time. They could have tried to wave clear, and they might have been in a better position to respond to that Baron as well, since whilst Forbidden was dead, they could have then pushed out, taken a bit more vision control in their jungle. It'd be harder for H2k to bait them in. As it is, though, of course, you'd have to rewind a very long way to put them in a situation where Faculty could have had an overall advantage in this game, but it looks like we're going to be seeing a Destiny, but
Just down the bot lane.
Yeah.
Trying to catch out Alistair. Alistair has finally finished his Triforce. Honestly, it's not going to be good, but Mountain getting caught up. Andromeda has got the spell shield now on him, or the black shield, I should say. They are going to get a Dark Binding onto Obvious. They are trying to kite this back. Andromeda is so tanky right now. He has got a ton of health and regen. Going to have to back away from this pretty safely. They might even go for Baron right now. Honestly, H2k are just flexing their muscles right now. This isn't really... They've really dominated, and we haven't seen any pressure really put on them at all.
nah. They are just waltzing their way to victory at the moment. And Faculty has 2 left feet. cannot dance the dance. Cannot even walk the walk at the moment. They are suffering from a bad case of broken legs, kneecapped in lane. They just can't do anything. I mean, I hate to be defeatist for them, but if I was in this situation, I'd be FFing.
Yeah, I don't even think, like, they picked strong lanes, as we said. There was nothing, well, maybe the Riven would probably be the only thing I would be questionable about, but even
the Riven is a strong early jungler.
It is,
that
yes.
That isn't the weakness they suffered. It wasn't, I mean, she didn't do very much with it. She didn't gank a lot. There were a lot of strategic errors and a lot of individual small mistakes as well, and it's all added up to build this snowball, which H2k have then run with. But there's no strategic thing where I can say, oh, they definitely did that wrong, they had the wrong idea, but
they've just been outplayed.
yeah.
Very, very simply. They
Straight
have,
up.
look, Andromeda, look, you can even see his regen from the Baron. I'd say
Mundo with Baron is the funniest thing, especially if you build a Warmog. You can really get silly amounts of regen.
Warmog, Spirit Visage, Baron, all the health regen.
I remember when Mundo was first coming into the meta, people were building him like that. And of course, you also had the Perseverance Mastery. So people got
the OP mastery.
Yeah, when it was a triple the value it currently is, and it got pretty silly. You'd be restoring literally hundreds of health every second.
Good God. And we do see a slight pause. Not quite sure. I heard one chat thing, so it could be, as you say yesterday, sec.
Yeah, it's a likely one. They may not feel the need to explain it, but
Yeah.
we'll see. Do they explain? We cannot know. It is an unknowable fact, but we are unpausing, which is very, very knowable. Waiting on the repause. It's not happening. Okay, here we go.
15,000
Pushing for the
gold.
inhib.
Yes, but a 15,000 gold lead. Actually, Forbidden has been forced up to the top lane, so they really are trying to get a full split right here. And honestly, I don't think Faculty can deal with him right now. There is nobody who can go and, you know, deal with this Twisted Fate. He has got his Death Cap, he's got his Zhonya's, he's got his Demons and Holy Grail, he's building towards a Void Staff, I can assume. He is just huge right now, and he's already knocking on the door.
This is a heads I win, tails you lose situation. H2k don't need to split push. As you can see right now, even in a 4-on-5, they are sieging that down. With a 5-on-5, they do it that much faster. But, of course, split pushing isn't going badly for them either, and Forbidden is, as you say, impossible for them to deal with. Maybe Bimbo can get like a Deathfire combo, but I just don't think he's got the damage right now.
Oh, there it is, the flash into the Soul Shackles. He does get the... Actually, nobody gets caught up into it. It is going to be Mountain going down first, though, to Lucian. Riven does pick up a kill onto Morgana. They get this reset onto Cedrian. He's going to use... Or Destiny's going to be popping. He uses ultimate to try and get away. It's going to be Bimbo going down. Alistair went down as well. Obvious going to be chased down as well. He does end up getting queued by Lee Sin. Too much regen, though, from the Fountain. That's going to be game, though, as the Super Minions are in the base. It's going to be a tower shutout. Not a kill shutout, but an incredibly convincing win there by H2k. And they go through to the final, I think it is, of the winners bracket.
That would be the winners bracket final, yes. So very, very nice stuff from H2k there. Looking like they had absolutely no trouble taking out Faculty. So... and Faculty drops to the losers bracket, where they will be facing off against Isuba. I'd like to see more from Faculty. Honestly, they did not play the way I would have expected from them.
No, I think as well, like, they choked. Like, they didn't have bad lanes, they didn't have bad picks, they didn't have bad bans. They weren't going against an incredibly strong team. They weren't going up against it with an incredibly weak team. I think they just choked. I think it just kind of all came onto them. They maybe just had a couple of very, very poor decision-making, very poor team calls. And unfortunately, the Alistair in the top lane, just slight mechanics, you know, even though it mightn't have meant any different, it's still slight things that you can improve on. And hopefully we'll see them in a slightly more inspired form when they go against Nsuba later. Yeah,
a ton of small mistakes adding up to that early game loss. And from there, they didn't have any plan to get back into the game. Lacking the gumption there, so they will be dropping down. Good luck to them in the future, I guess. We will probably be casting that game later on today, I believe. And so, not much more to say about the whys and the wheres of how they lost, but
H2k Joe True.
Yep, H2k will be going through, so we will now have, I think, a decent-sized break, couple of hours. Hour and a bit, says the producer, who I can hear. I know, magic. Right, we will be going into a quick break, but if you want to fill that time in with anything, please do check out our sponsors, TeamSpeak and Overwolf, and also check out FACEIT itself, the service where you can get yourself matched up with similar skilled teams or individuals. I think it has a team builder function. It has all sorts of neat little features and compete for prizes, fabulous prizes at the level of your own skill. So, with that being said, guys, we'll see you later.